Hello everyone, it's me again. I'm super excited to bring you yet back to my channel to another amazing video. So today is the 25th of July 2025. My name is Moses and I've been trading for 2+ years. It's almost 3 years now. So first of February 2023, that's when I started trading. Right, so I on the last video, sorry for the stammering. On the last video I posted that I'll be deleting three trading instrument for my chart, right? So on the boiler room here you can see that I have GBP USD, USD JPY, GBP JPY and US oil. And on the last video I can if you have watched the last video, I stated clearly why I did not delete GBP JPY, because it was the pair that I've been trading last year, and it was like, so it's kind of like it was a very good player actually last year. So I don't know if I can still repeat that, that momentum that I did last year. But I don't think it will happen. I don't think that will be happening because of what I'm seeing on GG right now. So if you can see, I deleted three pairs. I deleted BTC USD, I deleted USD card, and I deleted USD index, US dollar index, right? So if you can see now on my chart, these are the only four instruments I have that I trade on Forex. By the way, on crypto, I have some crypto here, Bitcoin, whatever, and some of the cryptos I'm holding currently. What is, I also have my stocks and my Nasdaqs, what have you. But these are the pairs that I trade: GU, UJ, GJ, and oil. So these are what I trade. There's been a lot of there's been a lot of progress that I've made so far just while trading these, focusing on these four pairs instead of trading multiple pairs at a time. And I've been able to make a lot of adjustments and findings to my trading since I've been trading just these four pairs alone this week. And I think this week has been one of my best weeks ever since I started trading. And why I say that is because this is the only week that I had like about, let's say, two losses and like 7 wins. I've never had like 2 losses and 7 wins ever before. Normally it used to be, let's say, 3 wins, 4 losses, or let's say 4 losses, 2 wins, but that 2 wins will be over, so I'll still be in profit. But this one is just absolutely wild and absolutely insane. So this is a very very nice one that I had this week. A very nice run, good run that I'll be praying to replicate throughout the whole of next week too. So I'm just doing this video so that you can also see reasons why I decided to change what I trade. You can see I just stopped trading three pairs, and he absolutely changed my trading style. Not like change my trading style in the whole, but like change my perspective, change what I view in the market. And I am now calm. I now take trades more calmly now. I now analyze pairs more better. I don't sleep on the chart like I used to before. There was a time I was trading like about 8 pairs, then I started deleting. I deleted Euro USD and AUD USD and gold. Then I brought back USD card for some reason I don't remember. I think I brought out USD card because I saw someone else trading, which was very bad. I traded USD card for like 2 weeks, and I was actually having a good one on USD card, to be honest with you. I was having a good one on USD card. I was like, okay, let me just keep this and let's see how it's going to be. That is how I kept USD card for weeks and weeks and weeks on ending. So if you can see, okay, I think this is not going as planned. I'm using my screen here, so sorry if, okay. So I wanted to show you, okay, if you can see, I don't know why this thing is slow as hell. Okay, 24th, 20. So this week started with Monday, which is 21st. You can see this was the first trade we took. US oil was the first trade we took. Look how it went. nicely. I think this trade reversed back. You see, trade reversed. Then I got out at break even. I've broken even by then, so I entered another position, which actually went well. Look at it, take profit hits. Okay, I think that was just that one particular, just one trade in that day on the 21st, on the 22nd. So just analysis I was posting, but this was the trade I took on the 22nd. US oil break and retest plus bounce off the trend line. The whole setup was like selling USD This was a very perfect trade. If there was anything like perfect trade, this is it. USD on the 22nd of July 2025. Look at it, pure momentum, bro. Like there's a whole lot of good flow of move, right? So this was where I exited the market. You can see US oil TP1 hit, I'm out, and why I close out because the market was kind of like shifting structure, trying to kind of like range in somewhere, and US oil is not a pair that ranges. When you just want to range, you just have to get out of it. And okay, this was when I posted USD I said good run, so this was when I closed out. And funny enough, this whole week, anytime I close out, that's when the market will reverse. Look at it. Okay, this I was like UJ was fired today. This was on the 23rd. I was like UJ was fired today, and you can see this trade yesterday. US oil wasn't too good. You can see after I close out around this red candle here, this red candle, no, this one here, you can see there was a lot of rejections, and you don't want to be in this kind of trade on US oil. I can tell you, bro. So you can see on GU, okay, this was a missed opportunity, right? That was on GBP USD. So this was on US oil break and retest of there's a whole lot that goes into my analysis apart from the break and retest, but it's more like an added confirmation kind of. So this was the trade. It's a 1 to 2.9 risk to reward. I was risking 56 pips. I think this was a nice one too. Okay, this way analysis. GBP USD. I think this one hit. Yeah, this one was a nice trade, right? This was on the 23rd. So you can see on the 23rd, I was hitting about 46 USD profits with US oil with the most minimal amount of profit, right? These ones you see here, they are all the same risks because you see US oil with 0.1 and GU with 0.3. I'm risking $50 on all of them because US oil moves faster. So if you use the position size calculator, you don't even need to risk much. You don't need to. Let me come again. You don't need to you don't need to use more position size than the other pairs that move slowly. That's what I mean. So if you can see before, this was GBUSD, came to entry, kind of like range, did his thing, then went up, take profits. I think I took profit earlier. This was a setup I missed on UJ because I was actually sleeping. I think you see, okay, yeah, I wrote it there. So slept while I was supposed to be trading. I slept on these two trades. They're early morning trades, by the way, around 7 o'clock. I slept on these two trades and I missed out on them. So you can see US oil. I think I entered this trade too late, and I'm closing because I know that price might want to come back to test that level of resistance before dropping. Plus, the kind of rejections I was getting means that the trend line was valid and price was rejecting from it. So this trend line was like it now looked like a break and retest kind of thing, right? If you can see, we entered around this area here. This area here. This is where we entered from the day before, and you can see how we closed, and you can see how the market went all back and it started coming down again. So anytime you see any this range on oil, just know that it's gonna be a long one if you are going to be holding it. So I close out here. You can see I didn't close out at my stop loss. I close out here. It's almost at break even. It's about 14 pips in loss out of 56 pips. So it's almost at break even. So this was when I closed the positions. I closed GU with a good amount of profit, about 20 20 20. That's 60 plus 3 7. So let's say about 50, no, let's say about 60 something bucks, right? So we had to minus this 14 $14.90 on the US oil break even kind of losing trade, right? I didn't actually lose, I just closed out the position. You can call that a loss, but anyway, it depends on how you want to see it, right? So this was on the 24th, 23rd, and this was when we entered 24th, which was yesterday. So just analysis. So the trade I took, US oil break and retest to the upside. Alright, you can see it. Then I took on GU rejection from the support area. Then I took the buy. The buy was too. I think it was too late. I entered too late. But anyways, here we have it too. I exit at TP1. Why? Because there was multiple rejections from the resistance that wasn't good. Right? You can see these weak rejections from the resistance. It only means one thing, that resistance is just too strong for price to break below it, for price to break above it rather. So I just had to exit here and just wait for whatever the market might bring to me. I missed another trade on USDJPY. I missed this one because I was expecting more push to the downside. I needed the market to touch that black line for me to get a better entry, but it didn't. So I missed out on this opportunity for a buy on USDJPY. So you can see on GU I hit my stop got hit. Right, my stop got hit. Trade was invalidated, and why this happened mostly was because there was a trend line that was here. If I had actually spotted that trend line on time, I would have known that okay, this looks like a break and retest kind of. It looks like a breakout of the uptrend because there was an uptrend inside the main uptrend. But Geo is in a major uptrend, I think 4 hour uptrend. But there was this kind of like a 1 hour uptrend. If I have seen it on time, I would have avoided this trade and at the same time avoiding the loss. So that was it. I closed out. Don't forget, on 24th, I closed out this loss and this win. So this one hit TP1, this one hit stop loss, right? So you can see on 25th, which is today. So this was what I wrote here. Good morning. So I wrote how to take out on this one. How to take us out before going up. It's good to know we exited when price rejected from the resistance area. I can see that after price rejected that resistance area multiple times, it just came to take us out, then go up in our favor. So either way, would have been out in some way, because if we didn't exit when we saw that there were a lot of, bro, just look at these rejections, man. Look at this. This does not look like something that you want to keep, right? So it's just good to know that we exited on time, right? So this was the news that made me miss a lot of trades today. High impact news by 130, durable goods. Now I know, because this has taught me a lesson. Now I know that durable goods does not have enough momentum, or too much momentum, to actually move the market. I thought it does, but it does not. So US oil, look out. Okay, this was just like my normal day analysis. I don't want to bore you with this, because these are what I do. For me to see those setups that I take, right? For me to see those setups that I take. So I actually wanted to. This was what I was thinking. I was waiting for a retest on this, on this demand level or on this support level, right? For me to take that trade. Well, you know, luckily for us, because we can't catch every trade again as traders, we can't catch all the setups that we have. The market didn't come back down, so it just went up from where it is. And also, there was a trend line there. Look at the trend line. If I had seen that trend line on time, I would have taken the buy and would have made profit there. But don't we don't want to be chasing, right? I the kind of trades I take are something that are very visible to me. I don't want to start like kind of like hunting for them. I want them to be visible to me, because the most visible ones are the ones that are going to make you the most profit, and the ones that are going to be more profitable in the long term. So this was the trade I took on US oil today. Crazy one, right? So look at what was happening. This was the same resistance that price was rejecting from a day before today. So there was multiple rejections from that resistance. You can see that okay, this resistance is holding up, so it just has to sell. I zoomed out on the on the 15 minutes time frame. I saw this trend. I was like, this makes a lot of sense. Maybe if price comes back to this, what's it called, to this support area, it's going too long. But for now, I'm just thinking of selling it right now. So I had to place those short positions. This was the entry, right? Look how it looked like. So the bounce of the trend line, waited for it to break and retest on the 5 minutes time frame. Waited for the break and retest of that trend line. Then I entered, right, placing my stop a little bit above these rejections that I have here. But normally I was supposed to place my stop around this level here, this high. But the high was just, let me put it this way, the high was just too high, so I had to look for alternatives and just place it above that resistance here. Funny enough, it hit my stop loss even before it was near my stop loss because of broker spread. If you are trading oil, US oil, you need to know that US oil has a lot of volatility just like gold. So where you place your stop loss, you might not be going out from there. You might be exiting before your stop even get hit. So this was what I was seeing. So I was like, okay, there's still possibility for price to drop. So I entered another positions. Now this is a 1 to 1.7 risk to reward. So it's a kind of like tricky kind of trade. I don't think this kind of trades I take from like 1 to 2 and above, and I hardly even take 1 to 2. So for me to take this kind of trade, that means you know that it's going to be a winner, right? So I just saw that okay, there's still momentum for price to drop. I was like, okay, let me just take this trade, and I took it and take profit hit onto 1.7, played out nicely, and it was still even dropping up till the market closed today. So this was this was the what's it called, the result for today. I opened two positions on US oil, and don't drag me, let me explain why there are two positions on the first one, there is one position on the second one. The first one I opened with a 21 pips stop loss, and the second one was opened with about a 50 pip stop. Okay, let's say about a 40 pip stop, so it's about like, it's kind of like double of that. And for me to place two losing trades at, okay, for me to lose two trades in a row in one day, it doesn't just add up. So I had to cut the risks to what I can I can say okay, I'm okay, I'm chill with it. All right, so that's why it is like this. So the second position was like, let me just get break even. That was the idea behind the second position, not to make crazy profit. Because as I entered the position, to be honest with you, when I entered the position, I just closed my phone, went to plug it because it was at 4%. So I just plug it and just set my stop loss. I didn't set my TP. I just set my stop and I just went out. Right, plugged it and I went out of where I plugged it. So when I came back, I saw I was in profit. I was like, okay, cool. Took it. ABFX. Can't hate this guy. Can never hate this guy. So GU, I missed this setup because of news. GBUSD, nice one. Break and retest to the downside. Break of the lower time frame trend line. Right. This is annoying. This is annoying. I missed out on this one. I missed out on USD GPY too. This is annoying, to be honest with you. I missed out on this beautiful setup. And I missed out on this one. This one kills me, bro. This kills me. But anyways, I think we are all here for learning. We learn every day. Right. So I just want to take you to my MT5 and you can see the progress for the week. So this was today. Custom period for this week. So you can see 300 USD in profit for the week. The first one was, don't forget, this first one was not a loss. Is it this one? I don't know if it's this one. Okay, I think this was the one that I closed out in break even. Don't forget, I closed this trade in break even, then I opened this one to to compensate for this one I closed in break even, right? So I had to open this one again. It was a banker trade. So this trade and this trade are the same thing. So this was not a loss. This was a break even trade. Don't forget my loss is about 50 or 40 bucks. Anytime any place you see $40, just know it's a loss. This one was a trade I closed because I knew that price was reversing against me. I just knew that okay, this doesn't make sense again. I'm out. There are sometimes you just see a setup, you look at it multiple times and you'll be like, okay, this is going to hit my stop. You don't want that, right? You want to minimize your what's it called? Minimize your losses, right? So if okay, for instance, you have a setup and you are buying and you've bought and you saw things that are going to make this thing sell. Are you going to close out and sell, or are you just going to hold? Everyone has different perspectives. So this is just what I thought that okay, this doesn't make sense. I'm out. Right. That's what happened on this one here. This was on the 23rd. So this was technically a kind of like a break-even trade. This GU on the 24th was my first loss. It was my first loss on GBUSD. Or was it? Was it my first loss? Okay, yeah, GBUSD was my first loss on the 24th. I was buying and the market was dropping. So it was about, if you calculate the both of them, they're about, let's say 30, yeah, about $31 of loss there. And you can see US oil second loss of the week. So I had two losses. US oil second loss of the week. This was also compensated with this trade, right? So technically it's one loss, but if you want to look at it from a different perspective, there are two losses. This is one loss, right? This is another loss. But can you call this one a loss? The one on 25th, if it's the same trade and I still got it right. It's a 10 cent loss, so it's not a loss. So I took only one loss this week, and it's amazing. It's amazing what your strategy can do. It's amazing what just changing a few things, putting a few rules down can do to your trading, and this is what it did to mine. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Probably when I do my weekend trading review or my trade breakdown. So thank you very much. Have a nice one.